Should be good to go now. Move you over yonder. Should be good to go now. Whoops. Move you over yonder. Okay. Should be good to go now. Whoops. Over yonder. Okay. Should. Alrighty. Going live to take a look at everything going on in San Diego Comic-Con. We currently have the Gotham City panel happening right now. So I wanted to take a look at this. We've got a couple sources of information in the room right now. Curious if anybody's actually filming this panel for later, but so far right now, not that I knew of. I wonder how big this room is, too. I don't know something about. So there was a Dennis Camp panel, apparently. Dennis Camp and friends, but it doesn't look like anything was announced at that panel as of yet. That has not come in yet at all. I'm wondering then if that is they're saving an announcement potentially for the next level panel, which is going to be happening here in a few. Let's see. I'm just going to go through these. It's going to be a lot of refreshing here. Some sort of giveaway. Okay, so nothing. Looks like this is the only thing. So this is the first big bombshell from DC today. Batman of Two Worlds. So this is going to be a one-shot release specifically on Batman Day, which is usually on a Saturday. So Saturday, September 19th. So not on like a proper LCS Wednesday. It'll be a special day all to itself with a bunch of Batman goodies, right? So I'm curious. Okay, we've got Matt Fraction, Javier Fernandez doing a Batman story, and then a brand new absolute Batman story from Scott Snyder and Nick Darrington. This crazy creative team. So a brand new absolute Batman story to go with this Fraction Fernandez story that is basically going to be telling one story, but in these both universes, which is crazy exciting. Brendan, welcome on in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. So I think Snyder, Katie Kubert, and Fraction were in the room. I didn't see who else was there in the room right now and who's talking. We haven't heard anything else. Oh, we have the Ashcan edition, the preview edition for Bad Seeds for Sunset for that first issue. So this is actually a physical copy of the Bad Seeds Ashcan. That is really, really, really freaking cool. I'm a big fan of this cover. Yeah, this is the Fraction Wilson book. Okay, cool. Oh, let's see what the interiors look like. Oh, man. Okay, what else do we have so far? What is this? Oh, okay, bunch of new stuff. Gotham General. Did we see this cover already? I'm pretty sure we did. What is this? Okay, it's the main cover for Gotham General. This is the Greg Rucka book, right? And what is this? New Batman villain rhetoric. Oh, is this? Wait. Is this gonna be in the Lego game? Why are we seeing a Lego design for this? What's the context here? And then this is the actual rhetoric design. There was that contest that they announced a few weeks or months ago when Lego Batman came out, Anyone can like come up with if you win the sweepstakes, you can come up with a new Batman villain that would be appearing in the Lego Batman game. Is that what this is? There's no what's the context here? Okay, I'm just seeing a lot of stuff from here. Okay, wait, hold on, back up. Anarchy. Okay, well, what's the context? Oh yeah, that's a cover for an issue. Batman Bad Seeds takes place over one night. Is contained to Gotham exclusively. Definitely knew that. Let's go over here. Oh, G. Willow Wilson is there. Okay. Matt Fraction's outline of Bad Seeds is so intricate he could lead a war. Fraction says Bad Seeds is not a red skies problem, but will still have high stakes and affect everybody in different ways. We'll really examine the notion of Gotham being a character and what happens when you put it in danger. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about the Bat family. Like the fact that we're getting books dedicated to the GCPD and the uh, uh, Gotham General, the hospital. Like we're going to be seeing this event through the eyes of everyone, which I think is awesome. Like we're going to be getting Poison Ivy, so we'll be getting her perspective from the event, and then we'll also be getting obviously all the various Batman family members and their books, but then also people who are on the ground, people working at the hospital, people working at the police department, which gives us a really cool, robust picture of like everything happening during this crazy night. So that's that. Give me Anarchy. Stephanie is back as Batgirl for this. I feel like we knew she's been Batgirl. Bravo describes Batgirl's bad seeds issues as sinners in a noodle shop, and Batgirl and Cub, the latter being her protecting a sick kid. Okay, so that's Tate referring to the Cassandra Cain book. Awesome. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, I shared this online, but yeah, shout out to Kaiju Kittens for sending me these. This is the Absolute Batman Upper Deck box that is exclusively at the convention. I believe it's $99. But it's a ton of swag in here, man. Just a ton of good stuff. So far, this is the first major day that we're getting a lot of like huge panels and just more looks at what's available on the show floor. The levels of jealousy that I have right now are astronomical. Just astronomical. I've been wanting to go to San Diego Comic-Con for a very long time, and I don't something about like having been to a couple cons this year and just really just loving going to conventions. Missing out on San Diego is really eating at me, man. Because this just seems like the con to go to. Let's do some refreshes. Let's see some refreshes. Anarchy's back. Okay, wait, nothing new here. Oh, let me see what Annie's got going on. Gotham Central is being pitched as Gordon and the good cops trying to solve a murder mystery in the middle of Bad Seeds. Anarchy is involved. And Steph, they're hyping up Steph getting some love in this book. I want to be optimistic. Oh. Oh, we have the cover for that Batgirl issue, which I don't think has been out there yet. What on earth is she fighting? My God. And this is the cover for what? Is this 23? David Tulaski, man. On a heater right now with covers. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing new. Okay, nothing new there. This panel started about 15, 20 minutes ago. Jenna says on Gotham Central, Jim Gordon and the GCPD solving a murder while plans to attack the city. Anarchy and Stephanie Brown will appear. Okay. So that is cool. Thanks for doing this, dog, because refreshing timeline while at work is a pain in the ass. Yeah, I feel you. That's exactly what you just said is exactly why I wanted to go live. For anybody who's just like, I want to keep up with all this, but I ain't trying to have like multiple tabs, I got you. I'll tab for you. I'll make that sacrifice. Yeah, I wish I was there. I do have a couple people that I know that are there, and some folks that are sending me some really cool stuff. I can also show you. I've got some pictures here. If you want to get an idea of what some of the show floor looks like, I'll share that throughout. But I've got, if I can find it, that'd be great. Why is my Discord just like dead? Can we not do that right now? Apparently my Discord is just non-existent. I want to show you guys some of the like scenes from like actually on the floor, like some of the DC booths. I know a friend of mine is going to IDW, Boom. Some of the indie studios have some really cool booths. I want to show you guys what those look like. Oh, we have wait. What is this announcement? Gangs of Gotham / Streets of Gotham, new ongoing. What? What does this mean? It'll be okay. If I'm understanding this correctly, it'll be spilling into Streets of Gotham, which focuses on the ground level, and Steph will be a main character. She's described as being undercover in one of the gangs, and no one knows she's there but Bruce. So basically, another Barbara Gordon breakout, but with Stephanie Brown. Okay. So like, is this spinning out of? I guess this is starting in Bad Seeds and then spinning out of it into its own series. Let's get another perspective. The funny thing about this is like you got multiple people in the room, and so they're all typing out different pieces of information. So I'm just trying to like piece it together here. Cantwell's Bad Seeds issues will tee up a new Gangs of Gotham series from him and Mike Henderson. Gangs will include Blackgate inmates, thieves led by Magpie, and the one that Stephanie Brown is undercover in. Okay. There you go. I used to feel FOMO about missing cons, especially as a content creator, but now that I'm older, I've heard to be in the crib and talk about it all when it's done. So I've gone to 2 conventions already this year. I went to MegaCon and I went to Heroes Con. And so I have 2 more conventions already lined up this year. I'm going to go to Tampa Comic Con, which is my local convention, and then I'm going to go to New York Comic Con. But then I saw the listings for Baltimore Comic Con, and yo, everybody's going to Baltimore. There's just too many. I love conventions, but there's just so many good ones, man. Yo, comics are dope. What's up, BJ? Are we still on Vixen Watch? Yes. When is that starts? I believe in right after this. So we're just gonna roll right into that next level panel. This is the one. Obviously, the absolute panel. Everybody's excited about that, but this is the one that we've been circling for news, and hopefully this is the day we get the big Vixen announcement. What's up, Super Drop? I also was asking around about certain other things. I know people have been speculating about what certain folks might be doing who just got teased as appearing here. So this is it. Like, buckle up. I feel serious SDCC FOMO. Yeah, just watch Ed Cowan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech in which I was in the room so bad. Yeah, man. Like, first of all, GG's like crazy that he wasn't already in the Hall of Fame, but yeah, I would love to have been there for that. It's part of it is that San Diego Comic-Con got a bit of a bad rap over the last few years for being a convention that's just about like the movie side of things and like the mass media, and it had kind of overtaken the comics. But I was talking to someone the other day that said that the scene has definitely shifted back towards still obviously being a lot about the TV and movie announcements, and obviously Marvel Studios will be popping off tomorrow and take up all the headlines. But it's nice to see that the comic book publishers are coming back to San Diego Comic-Con in full force and really using it as a place to drop big news. And the fact that they decided to save some of their bigger reveals for this convention is really cool. Like, obviously, about a month ago, right, we got all the new next level news about Legion and Doom Patrol and all that, but they are still saving things for today, for San Diego Comic Con, to get that all eyes on this one day and event. It's funny that they don't stream these things, especially these sort of panels. I feel like they would get a lot of traction from getting actually everybody into one room and seeing it. But it's cool that we have at least people on the floor giving us some information. COVID might have saved Comic Con. Yeah, I've heard people talk about that. Yeah, that it literally may have shifted things back towards it being, you know, putting the comics back in Comic Con, which I'm here for. Um. Oh. Hold on a second. After G. Willow Wilson tees up Ivy's role in Bad Seeds, Fraction gets a round of applause for joking that readers will have to suspend their disbelief about self-serving criminals leading the government. Hey, yo! Wink, wink. Tom Taylor announces Detective Comics' next arc, Clark Kent Murderer. It takes place in Smallville. Oh. Okay. Interesting. I have been mostly up on this current Detective Comics run, although I was not a huge fan of haven't been a huge fan of this current arc with Green Arrow and Black Canary. It's been a little bit disappointing, but yeah, it's a cool pitch, man. One thing I will say that I really have enjoyed about Taylor's run is I like the way that he writes the dynamic between Clark and Bruce. Since Alfred's gone, Bruce has really leaned, at least in Taylor's run, he's really leaned into Clark being like Bruce's major confidant. Right? Typically, you see these conversations always happen in the cave with Bruce and Alfred, this sort of his go-to sort of father figure, right? But now that he's gone, he's sort of leaned on other characters more for advice and insight. And I've liked all of the scenes where Bruce has to go to Clark for advice, and obviously now with this, Bruce having to solve a murder involving his best friend. That should be good. Some real stakes there. Tate Brabble announces that David Kane is returning in Batgirl post Bad Seeds. Heck yeah. Okay, that's awesome to hear as well. Batgirl's been a little up and down for me since the first 10 issues or so, but it sounds like they are digging back into Cass's family, which is cool. Clark Kent Fugitive, I know, right? Taylor's been cooking more on tech than Fraction on Mayline. I think part of that for me is I do like the focus on long form 6-7 issue arcs, right, that Taylor's been doing. I don't think that this current arc has been the strongest by any means. I really just have not to some degree cared about the Prion story and how it's affecting because they're doing this thing with this kid that Canary, Green Arrow, and Batman knew, who was a young up and coming crime fighter and then dies, and how that connects to this company takeover in the present. It hasn't been a very compelling mystery for me, but I do think the book has been actually very solid. I'm late. You are not late. You are on time. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. We're about to get into, like I said, the next level panel here in a bit. So we're just kind of following along some Twitter follows here for people who are in the room and trying to piece together what is happening as far as we can tell. So what we've seen so far, the biggest things we've seen so far for those coming in is there is a mainline Batman, Absolute Batman one-shot coming from Scott Snyder, Matt Fraction, Javi Fernandez, and Nick Darrington. It doesn't sound like the two characters are going to be meeting. I mean, they might, but it's more so these two individual mysteries, two separate stories that sort of interconnect in some way or shape or form. This is going to be available on Batman Day, which is going to be Saturday, September 19th. So not on a Wednesday. You'll have to go to your LCS on Saturday to pick this up. But that is very, very cool. That's like the biggest thing that's been announced so far. Right now, we are getting the Gotham panel. So this is like all of the folks who are writing the current Batman books. And with that, it's mostly just been about bad seeds and kind of focusing on all the things that are happening. Oh, there it is. Dennis Camp, Shadow the Bat. There you go. There it is. Dennis Camp, Shadow of the Bat. Let's see. Let's just retweet Annie's tweet. Wow. Dennis Camp just came out. My man came in like a wrestler. That's crazy. All right, there it is. That is the new book. The new Dennis Camp Javi Fernandez series is, in fact, Shadow of the Bat. Yeah, I believe it is. I don't. We'll see if the confirmation, but it's supposed to be the both of them. Yeah, because Camp said that them leaving Absolute Martian Manhunter was them leaving together. Yeah, it's a cool logo coming soon. That is a wicked cool logo. So it's a slightly updated logo from the one we saw before. I'm curious. I'm so excited to hear the pitch. Like, what is the approach? But guys, it's Dennis. It's the Absolute Martian Manhunter team doing a Batman book. What does Dennis Camp's vision for Batman look like with Javi Rodriguez? Ooh, man, man. Wow. I was about to play this a lot of Batman news, but then remember this is the Gotham panel. Yeah. That's all we get. Okay, ooh. Dennis Camp takes the stage and now. Shadow of the Bat from him and Javi Rodriguez. There we go. Javi Rodriguez. Chemical factory explodes and releases toxins across part of Gotham. A lot of new characters trying to reinvent Batman for the moment. Wow. Here's our look. From the team that brought you Absolute Martian Manhunter. Wow, 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 wow. How are we feeling about this? Man, pass. Is it a matter of people? Okay, I'm curious how many people like just don't care because it's another Batman book, right? And would have preferred to see them on something else. Because I know there are going to be a lot of people who, no matter what, are going to be upset that they are ending Absolute Martian Manhunter for this. You know what I mean? Which is fair. Not gonna lie, that's perfectly fair. Let me put out a tweet really quickly. Hold on. Let me put out a tweet letting people know that I am doing live things. Do 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 do. Let me let the people know that we are doing the thing. Do do do. Let's get a little red circle here. All right, cool. All right, bet. What's up, Jet? I'll follow this creative team until the end of time. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, I mean, put it in the veins, man. Put it in the veins. No question. It's Dennis Camp and then it's Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez. This is what they wanted to do, right? Like they decided to leave Absolute Martian Manhunter for this and walk away. Dennis Camp on Shadow of the Bat. What would make Batman feel urgent right now as our institutions are crumbling? Interesting. Bringing some of that absolute perspective into mainline Batman. They want to make trying to reinvent Batman for the moment. That's fascinating. I had serious Bat Gotham burnout, but the last couple of years have really reinvigorated me. I mean, I think we are quietly in a pretty incredible time for Batman. Just within the past year alone, right? Between Absolute, the mainline Batman book, and Detective, but then you look at all the other stuff like Dark Patterns and Batman and Robin Year One, some really good like Elseworlds books, and now this. And all of those books, for the most part, are in a really good place. Even if you look at the rest of the Bat line, Nightwing is great. Batgirl's been really solid. Poison Ivy is a book that matters. Just don't mention Hush 2. Oh yeah, we can't all be winners. They're gonna take away his billions. Wouldn't that be amazing? If Batman suddenly just like lost all his resources. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Let me refresh Annie and refresh. Shout out to these homies, by the way, for doing this. Shadow of the Bat is back. This camp. Okay, nothing else happening here. What's going on with Annie? It will feature a new cast, including new civilian characters and new villains. To paraphrase, it's Batman coming to terms with the failure of our institutions and the trauma of his own paralleled with the trauma of the people of Gotham after a massive chemical plant explosion, along with every other traumatic event they've experienced. Assorted crisis bat events? Still doesn't seem like anything exciting, but I'll at least check out issue 1. The thing to be excited about is that it's Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez. You could just give me those two names, and it honestly, for me, it doesn't matter what they're doing. I want to see their take on the Batverse, for sure. And this is, now that the news came out that Dennis Camp has been exclusive to DC, this is him dipping his toes into mainline. Think about that for a second. So we learned, wink, wink, that Dennis Camp is apparently exclusive to DC. He would no longer be doing work for Marvel, right? Up to this point, he'd only done Absolute Martian Manhunter for DC. So this is going to be a mainline next level book. This is now Dennis Camp having a say on an ongoing Batman book within the mainline. What other potential mainline properties could he and or Javier Rodriguez touch? This is super exciting. Just having someone with the creative voice and vision of a Dennis Camp. DC was already doing well and already in an amazing place, and now you throw Dennis Camp in the middle of it. My God. Let's see. The logo's very dope. Yeah, that's not the same logo we saw. So remember this next level roadmap. Remember we saw this. Oh, I should probably include DC next level. Shadow of the Bat. Can I get Shadow of the Bat? Yeah, so remember this was the logo they originally teased for Shadow of the Bat down here. Right? That was clearly a placeholder because the real logo is this. So yeah. So this was definitely a placeholder. Can't we do wonders on Green Arrow? Oh god, yeah. It's almost too easy. That's just a layup. That's just a straight up layup line for him. Let's see. Nothing else here. Let's go to Annie. Okay, nothing new. We're not hearing anything new. So again, we are just a few minutes or moments. The very next panel is going to be DC's next level panel. So if you guys have been waiting for a big announcement or two about new books that are coming out, especially a particular book that I'm excited to finally talk about that has been so super hush hush or not so hush hush, I just know the people are going to be finally happy about this. So get your guesses in the chat. There is one thing. I was talking to a couple of people last day or two, trying to get some insight into what might be announced, because they keep these things very tightly wrapped. It's hard to squeeze people for information, but we will see about certain books. Hush 2 too. They did announce this yesterday that there will be a Hush 2 Part 2, which they did confirm that is coming. I'm assuming that they will not put it out until Jim Lee is like actually turned the pages in. Noah, wait, it didn't start yet. They did the Shadow of the Bat. So right now we're getting the Gotham City panel, which is the Gotham line. So they managed to bring Dennis Camp out to announce Shadow of the Bat during the Gotham panel. So that's going to be joining the Bat line. Tom Taylor has a whiteboard of ideas and is always surprised to find something that's never been done before. He specifically cites Green Arrow and Black Canary's team up with Batman as an example, and Dinah gets a louder applause from the audience than Ollie. Interesting. Fraction says Batman's longevity is part of the fun. You don't need to reinvent the wheel because it's the wheel. It's the rules. It's a matter of using the wheel to drive somewhere fun and exciting. Okay. Tomorrow we are getting the Superman, the Metropolis panel, and the Absolute panel. Is Shadow of the Bat next level though? It is. Yes, it'll be under the next level banner. It was one of the original next level books they announced way back when in February at Comics Pro. Maybe even before that. But they just decided to announce it here. Tom King Vixen, please don't. You're gonna start a riot in this chat. What are the series we've known about where we don't know the creatives yet? Asks Super Chop. So Jonah Hex, right? This was the most recent one that we got. This was the original here, right? So this was the original. Batwoman, Deathstroke, Firestorm, well, Shadow of the Bat now. Barbara Gordon, Breakout, Lobo, and Zatanna are all out. Demon, of course, we still do not know that has not been announced officially yet, but it's believed to be James Herron. We've had enough intel on that to be pretty certain of that, but who knows? We thought Camp and Rodriguez were doing Doom Patrol. So those are the ones that were initially announced. Then we got updates that included Teen Titans, Legion, Jonah Hex, and Doom Patrol. This just got our creative team. This just got our creative team. However, Jonah Hex still out there. I did see that there was a writer speculated for this. Someone can throw it out in chat. I can't remember who it was. But we may already know who this is. But TBD on that. But as Scott Snyder has mentioned many, many times, there are other books that have not been included on any of these timelines or roadmaps that they are to be announcing. And I believe one of them we're about to hear about right now. Remember Dead Man? Dead Man was a book that was not included on any roadmap or anything. And that kind of came out of nowhere. So this was the most recent big announcement when they dropped Dead Man and Barbara Gordon Breakout, or but this is before Teen Titans, yeah, and all that. But we learned about all these creators down here: Jeff Lemire, Jamal Campbell, Hayden Sherman, Mariko Tamaki. These, they've already had books. Rafael Del Toro, Greg Rucka, Tony Fleeks, James Herron, Michael Walsh is the one I'm thinking of for Jonah Hex. Jorge Corona doing Lobo, Kyle Higgins, Danny Kulo, Carmine, Cascati. So these are all folks that have been included already, that have already, their books are already known. Dennis Camp, obviously, and Javier Rodriguez, first of all, they're announced side by side, and they're announced without a book attached. So this was the book, Shadow the Bat. DC stopped playing until Ziegler is on Static. I do not believe. I could be completely wrong. Okay, I could be completely wrong. Do you guys want my quick take? I don't think it's gonna be if Cody Ziegler is doing a book. I don't think it's gonna be Static. I think that there may be other plans for Static, including the fact that he's being introduced in Titans. Right? What's up, Canby? Welcome in. The fact that he's being introduced in Titans now, I think that there's a bigger rollout plan for Static. First, like a big arc in Titans, and then potentially his own book. Maybe Cody's coming in to do that. But I it could be something else entirely. I haven't seen any other properties alluded to for Cody Ziegler. I don't want to speak out of turn here. I almost think people are just doing the pigeonhole thing. Well, he wrote Miles Morales, so he has to be writing Static, right? Like, it could be anything. He could be doing any book. I don't think Ziegler's doing Static, and I also don't think they'd announce it before we get this Titans appearance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that Marquise Draper, if you guys don't know, Marquise Draper is an editor at DC who has been really spearheading behind the scenes a number of different things. But he's been spearheading like the return of these milestone characters, in particular in Static, right? He is the one who was editor on the Dakota Incident, and also was the one who encouraged the addition of Static into DCKO, Kids Are All Fight. So if anything's happening with Static, it's going to be with Marquise Draper involved. And I do think that they have a longer roadmap planned out. I just don't know that it's going to involve bringing in a writer from outside to come in suddenly to do Static. I think Cody Ziegler can be doing literally anything. I just think people are being a little too, it's just too simple of a thing. Like, oh, he did this, so he must be doing this. It could be a wide number of books. And I have one idea, potentially, but we'll see in a few. I can't possibly. I mean, another book that I'm just gonna throw out a name, Steel. Also, may not be a black character. Who knows? Never know. Do we know what James Herron is doing? The speculation was Demon, right? That's that. I mean, you would think. I'd be surprised if it's not that, but we've been wrong about other things before. So, Annie said Dennis Camp just came out onto the stage, not as gay. Hey, what a great place to do that at, right? Ziegler, Jaime, Blue Beetle. Hey, yeah. Absolute will be tomorrow, Kote. They're doing Absolute panel tomorrow. So DC has 2 more panels tomorrow for their Metropolis line and for Absolute. So we're not going to get any Absolute news today. They really should announce another Wonder Woman title. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that I've been wanting a Sensation Comics book for the longest time. I am just not a fan of this Tom King run at all, man. It's just not what I want for the character, and I think that irregardless of whether or not this run I was enjoying it or not, Wonder Woman's such a great character, and there's so many different sides to her lore and her world that it's crazy that she doesn't have another book that's giving us a different flavor of the character. Right? What makes Superman so special and Batman is that they have multiple titles that are hitting at their world and their family from different angles. And I think that when you look at Wonder Woman, we only have her singular mainline book. So you only have that one vision for the character right now. If you like Batman, you can get mainline Batman from Fraction and Jimenez. You can go get Detective. You can go get any of these other side books that come out. Dark Patterns was out, Batman and Robin Year One, whatever it might be. You just don't have that for Wonder Woman at all. Like I want a book that's just mostly focused on Diana and the Wonder Girls or Themyscira or Nubia or whatever. That gives you that these are things that we're not really getting in the King Sampere run. Even if Sensation was a Wonder Girl book, those girls are wasted right now. Yeah, exactly. Just a book that gives us an opportunity to tackle things that are not being tackled in the main book. Like if you want to do this super political sort of rebellious Wonder Woman story over here in the main book, cool. But then give us a book that's more mythology focused. It sounds like this panel might be over. What time is the? Hold on a second. I have too many windows open right now. Do 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 do. My God. Next level. DC's next level starts right now. Yep, starts right now. So I'm gonna everybody who's we've been retweeting or refreshing here are still in the room for this panel. So stay tight. This is the big one, guys. Pins and needles. We get the announcement that people have been wanting, been teasing. I also want to show you guys something really cool. So I'm a pretty big Vixen fan. I don't know about you guys. I fell in love with that character when I first saw her in Justice League Unlimited, and then from her time in Brad Meltzer and Ed Bennis's Justice League of America run, which you can see right here behind me, right back there. But yeah, this just came in. I got a commission from the GOAT, the Gooner GOAT, Ed Bennis, a Vixen commission. And yeah, this is I got the frame coming in today. It's gonna be going up on the wall. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I don't really have any much space left on the camera, so we'll see where I put it. But Ed's the GOAT, man. Ed is the Gooner GOAT, man. He knows how to draw him some ladies. Crazy. Jeff Loeb on Vixen. Tyler, welcome on in. Lord, I don't think anybody wants this. So yeah, I love Vixen. I've been waiting for this character to get fleshed out more and have her own book, and this is hopefully the moment we've been waiting for. What's up, Hayden? I don't know what's up with my notifications, buddy. It's ridiculous. I love the Sensation comics that work. Wait, I love a Sensation comics that works like Tinian's Tech Rebirth run has Diana Blitzer supporting cast shine more. Yeah, exactly. There's so much to Wonder Woman's world. You know what I mean? She's been around for so long. She has so many supporting characters, and also just like I said, the mythological side of the character is something that you can do an entire book about. That is not really touched on as much in the current Wonder Woman book. But she is as flexible and malleable as Superman and Batman are, right? But you don't really know that because we're only getting one flavor of the character at the moment. You know what I mean? And now it's time for DC's Next Level panel. Yours Ferdinand, dude, you could go down the list of all the characters that are currently not getting any shine. It's crazy. Firestorm, Lobo, and Barbara Gordon peak. I need to catch up on the other 4 Next Level titles. I am not loving Barbara Gordon at all. I will probably stick with it for another issue, but I'm just about out. I'm just about out on Barbara. Of the Next Level titles, I still need to read Dead Man #2. I actually just recently caught up on #1 and was pleasantly surprised by how crazy and awesome that book is. So maybe I have so many other titles I'm reading. Favorite Next Level book right now is, I think, Firestorm. I just read Deathstroke 5. I've been fully caught up in reading Deathstroke and Lobo as well. Also really like Lobo. Lobo is just so much fun. Jorge Corona is doing God's work on that book. It is what a perfect combination. What a perfect combination. Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Never thought in a million years I'd be enjoying a freaking Lobo book, but here we are, man. It's so good. It's just so irreverent and over the top and absurd, which is like what I would want from a Lobo book. I never thought in a million years I would enjoy Lobo, but yeah. I'm out on Barbara. Yeah, that's fair, man. Kelly Thompson should do mainline Wonder Woman. I feel like she's exhausting a lot of the things she would do for that character in her Absolute book, so I don't know that she would ever hop over. Kelly's also like super busy now, just generally speaking. I don't know if we're going to see Kelly Thompson on any other DC stuff anytime soon. She's doing Buffy and Angel and Jeff stuff at Marvel. So she is tied up. We got to talk Babs Breakout soon because it's so bad I'm upset. Dude, yeah, it's not making a good use of the character. I want to see Babs being tough and resourceful and the smartest person in the room, and this book is doing none of those things. Like, literally none of those things. Disappointed because I thought Babs Breakout would be a great news story for her because I feel like she hasn't been used well in the past couple of years. No, I'm not a fan of Babs back as Batgirl at all. I am team put her back in the chair, man. She's Oracle to me. It was a perfect evolution of her character, and I want to see her get back to being just Oracle. And I feel like they've done her a disservice just putting her back in the suit. So I also was excited for Breakout as literally an opportunity to break out the character and send her to someplace new, but just not been that. Deathstroke's the one Next Level book I'm still keeping up with at the moment. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. You said maim her? Dude, that's not even like listen. The Barbar community is so adamant about ripping that what's that thing? The thing in the chip in her spine. Like, I never in a million years would I think I would see people saying, yeah, please disable this character again. But no, seriously, she was a symbol for folks that you can overcome a traumatic incident and go on to find and fulfill an even greater purpose. You know what I mean? And just a awesome hero for the disabled community. So to strip her of that, just to make her Batgirl again, to serve, again, what purpose when you have multiple characters already fulfilling the Batgirl mantle and role? Makes no sense. I don't care if she's in a wheelchair or not. She needs to be Oracle. Yeah, and see, the Birds of Prey run that Kelly Thompson did, like, it was just kind of this wishy-washy thing where she would, like, bounce between, like, being in the suit and not. Imagine Babs finds a criminal who has a chance for redemption through helping Oracle with this case. Dude, I know. They want to downgrade her. Yeah, man. Hashtag put her in the chair, man. Well, not that chair. Don't give her the chair. Put her in the chair. You know what I mean? Removing her disability was both ableist and sexist. No, I 100% agree. Yeah. Even though I liked a lot of what Gail Simone was able to mine out of that in her New 52 run, you know what I mean? Because that book was pretty dark, man. But still. All right, we should be starting right about now. Josh Williamson, Hayden Sherman, Kyle Higgins, Michael Walsh, and Gary Dugan take the stage. Okay. There's a couple more microphones over here. Looks like they're showing off a Legion thing. Three things I'm hoping for: Vixen, another Wonder Woman title, and Dr. Fate. Ooh, Dr. Fate. Interesting. Do you want a Khaled book? Hey, BJ, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I think Walsh has been heavily rumored for Jonah Hex, but we'll see. I am very excited for Legion, brother. Oh my Lord in heaven. I am so excited for this Legion book. All the pages we've seen from Hayden so far. Woo! Put it in my veins, man. Okay, there's the look at Legion here. There's the look at Legion. We already know this is coming out from Joshua Williamson and Hayden Sherman. I genuinely have no idea how Hayden Sherman is built like this. The ability to do the level of work that Hayden does with the speed in which they do it is genuinely incredible. And I don't want to say it puts other artists to shame because everybody has their own techniques and speed and whatnot. But damn, when you be seeing artists who just like can't maintain schedules and can only do like an issue or two before needing fill-ins, and then you got people like Hayden Sherman and Dan Moore over here doing multiple books, and not just multiple books, but doing multiple books with just incredible work that's like pushing the medium forward. Man, built different. Vixen icon in blue and gold is my wish list. Mm-hmm. Vixen is the one for me. Sherman joining more in the Clayton Cowles basement. DC gonna need an expansion down there soon. And Hayden's exclusive to DC, so there's a literal chain. Talked to Hayden about their process of Heroes Con. Their process is so interesting. Yeah, I got to talk to Hayden briefly. That really was interested in like what inspired them to like get into comics and the things that like because Hayden has such a distinct style, and I was mentioning that they used to find comics in the dumpster and cut them out and reassemble them to kind of tell stories. Who does that sound like? Do we know the colorist on Legion? We do not. I don't think so. Someone can correct me. Williamson sought out Sherman post Absolute Wonder Woman. Post? Hayden's not leaving Absolute Wonder Woman, so I don't know what that means. I'm going to keep seeing James Gunn's face here multiple times. Okay, we have update. Williamson has been developing Legion for 2 years. He was inspired by how Hayden Sherman talked about being creatively inspired on the Absolute books, and they decided to ask Sherman to be on the book. Ooh. New art. Holy mother of God. This is just gonna be just. Is this a cover? This looks like a cover. This is just gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Iron Man was my first intro to Joshua Williamson, and I was disappointed. Hope things are different now. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I ended up dropping the Iron Man book largely just because I'm just kind of tapped out on Marvel. And I found it okay. But Williamson's done some incredible work throughout his career. Flash. I'm really, 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 really in love with his Superman. This is some of my favorite Superman stuff in recent memory. And shout out to anybody who's been reading the current primetime arc. It honestly might be my favorite 5-issue, 6-issue arc of the year so far. I'm in love with it. I'm sad that it's wrapping up. I'm sad that Superman's coming back because I could honestly read an entire run of Williamson and Moore doing Prime. It's been truly remarkable. Prayer Circle for Legion lasting more than a year. Yeah, I think so. It's Williamson. It's Sherman. I have the utmost confidence in DC right now. I wouldn't be too worried about that being pulled. I mean, these books are selling so stupid well too. These next level books, it's crazy. Gleb Melankoff is joining Williamson on Iron Man. Is Gleb the one that was doing? Who am I thinking of? A Black Cat? I could look it up, but I don't want to open another tab. I might be confusing my Glebs. Iron Man going bi-weekly makes me glad I dropped it. Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that. I don't have room for a bi-weekly book. Yeah, no. That's the same thing that happened to me, Hayden, with Uncanny X-Men. The thing that broke me for Uncanny X-Men was the week that we got an issue of Uncanny X-Men and an annual, which happened 2 weeks prior. Like, or which there was an issue 2 weeks prior to that. So I got 3 issues of Uncanny X-Men in like a 14-day span. I was just like, yo, brother, no, you're not doing this. Iron Man is bi-weekly. Yeah, this got announced yesterday. It is going bi-weekly. So they're doing a. Hold on a second. They're doing a like dual arcs. The Incarcerated Iron Man and then Iron Man War Machines. Carmen Carnero is doing the Incarcerated arc, the main artist, and then Gleb is coming in to do the War Machines. Okay, Gleb was doing Black Hat. Yeah, I thought so. Interesting. They're glazing Matter Eater, lad. Oh, these covers. Legion is gonna be so hype, man. Legion's gonna be so hype. I first saw Legion in the animated series, and then I was a big fan of the book that Jeff Johnson, Gary Frank did, Superman and Legion. And from then on there, I've always been fascinated by them, but I could never really gravitate towards any of the older runs. So I'm excited to see a new take. Marvel saw a good selling series and said more. Yeah, I cannot with double shipping. I got burnt out when DC was doing their weekly events back in the day. So bi-week I can't. And the bi-weekly era of Rebirth too. Pretty much when I stopped reading monthly comics for a while. X-Men was also just an Uncanny book, so that was a busy Uncanny. Yeah. Oof. How in God's name will Williamson keep this up? It's a really good question because we're talking about like the Hayden Sherman of it all, but Williamson's doing, all told, what? Legion, Superman, G.I. Joe, Iron Man bi-weekly. And I think he's doing something else, right? Maybe I'll skip the Tony issue. That's crazy. Just get the War Machine issues. That's fair. Tell him at LCS, just pull the War Machine. Oh, yeah, Flash is bi-weekly too. Dude loves the grind. I guess so, man. I can't imagine keeping track of that many books at once from a writing standpoint. Like I'm genuinely curious. If I ever get to talk to him, I would love to know what does his workload and day to day look like. Oh yeah, the Wolfman. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Coltrane. Yeah. That's the one I was thinking. I know he's doing something else too. I gotta imagine like he'll probably drop off of GI Joe at some point, but who knows? I've only read the Wade Kitson Legion run, but really like that. My hype on this is 50-50 on this, as you probably guess. Oh yeah, I know, because you're the world's biggest Joshua Williamson hater. That's right. I forgot about that. No, I'm here for it. I think Williamson's doing great stuff across the board. Oh, here's the Batman. First look at a Batman image from Javier Rodriguez. Holy cow. Look at that, brother. Woo! He's busy. Even especially interviews with him is tricky. He's also doing Superman. Yeah, one thing I learned from this last con experience is definitely, if you want to talk to these folks, try to talk to them at the convention. Trying to schedule interviews, especially afterwards when they get super busy, is just so hard, man. Ay. How about he jumps off Superman soon? I hope not, Marcus. Yeah, I'm really enjoying his Superman book, even before primetime. Like I've really enjoyed it and I think that genuinely, I know the our homies, the Comics Pals, were talking about this yesterday, and I concur. I think this primetime arc, as in collectively, is the single best thing that Dan Moore has ever done. I don't know if anybody else agrees. I have never seen Dan push the boundaries of his capabilities the way he has in this arc. Like that last issue was 39, where he was just like flipping styles panel to panel and just playing with like word balloons and panel structure and all of it. Poof. Like you can really tell that these scripts were really like setting off his creative engines in a major way. Oh, we got the black and white preview for Legion. So this is the kind of our first look at what that first cover will look like. That is so clean. Oh, there it is. It's Tamara. It's Tamara Bonvillain, the colorist. Someone was asking earlier. There you go. Woo! Yes, man. So fire. Definitely more interviews, brother. I'm trying. I unfortunately just folks are hard to get in touch with sometimes, and I'm trying. Trust me when I say I'm trying. I really want to talk to more creators. It's the number one thing I want to do more than anything. So I have two more conventions coming up this year that I know I'll be going to, and I'm going to be prepared to do some more on the floor conversations. Right now, the guest list for Tampa Bay Comic Con is not that hot, so we'll see about that. But New York Comic Con, I'm trying to move heaven and earth to do that. Okay, we're getting some conversations on Teen Titans now. This is Kyle Higgins and Danielle D. Niculo. I did talk to Kyle Higgins at MegaCon about the book, and he definitely described it as millennial Jason Todd clashing with Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Titans kids. An Animal Man series would actually go crazy. You doing Baltimore? You need a roommate? Yo, I would love to do that. I just don't think I can. I just think that's just impossible. Because Baltimore, I think, is the same It's the same month as Tampa Bay Comic Con. I know Baltimore is September. Yeah. There's no way I could swing this in the middle between. It's literally sandwiched between Tampa and New York. The reason I'm going to Tampa is it's my hometown convention, and I've been a panelist there for a couple years, so I typically run a lot of panels, and it's kind of hard for me to not do that con. I just don't know that I can suddenly just, man, I want to do Baltimore so bad, but something would have to shake up majorly, like in my life, for that to happen. I'm trying to put all my eggs into the New York basket. I'm missing someone. Where's Jenna? I closed too many tabs. Too many tabs. When I used to stream on Twitch, I used to do just chatting streams. People would complain about all my tabs, so I'm trying to be better about that. Kyle Higgins says there should be a Teen Titans book for every generation. Wants his book to reflect the trials and tribulations of being a teenager, both in the DCU and right now. Will showcase a lot of characters, new and old. Higgins says a Jason Todd line in Teen Titans #1 will break the internet. Williamson has to stay on Superman long enough to do a Legion Superman crossover event. Oh yeah, you know it's coming. Yeah. I'm excited for Teen Titans. I think that, things have shifted so much generationally for DC in terms of their younger characters that it makes sense that we're getting like a brand new Titans team that's not, composed of, the Titans characters like the Starfires and the Cyborgs of the world. And a lot of the younger characters, the most recently we saw the Damian Wayne Teen Titans team with like Wallace West and those characters, like they're kind of moving on to a new generation. If you guys read DCKO Kids Are All Fight, that was kind of like a setup. We saw several characters in that book that are going to be showing up in this one. So, and Kyle Higgins definitely has the bona fides, if you will, for writing like younger characters. If they can get me to care about Jason Todd, then that alone will be an achievement. I think having him in the role of really bad babysitter to a bunch of Gen Alpha kids or Gen Z kids, whatever, is a really cool premise in and of itself. I think that's a really good contrast, right? I think that's a really good contrast for the character. It's an opportunity to do something really fresh with Jason Todd. Having him clash with the Bat family for the upteenth time is just boring. Okay, we have some. Oh, we have pages. Oh, we do have pages. We have interiors for Teen Titans. I became a big fan of Danielle's off of the Power Rangers stuff they did, but also recently with Court. Court looked really cool. Art looks phenomenal. What is this? Yeah, they've got such a dynamic, like manga inspired style. It just looks like you're literally looking at an anime on the page. Just talked to some people who run America's POC theaters. That would be an insane set of interviews, seeing as theater actors are seen as the best. Oh, heck yeah. Kids Are All Fight definitely had pages. Listen, it gave us static. It gave us static. That's the best thing I can say about it. Oh, this is trippy. I don't like the new Red Hood look, but this is probably the best it's ever looked for me. Yeah. Hell yeah. Is this the cover? We got Cheshire. We got Fair Play. Yeah. This was one of those where if you gave me these characters and Jason by themselves, I'd be like, right? But this particular creative team, given what they did on Power Rangers, I feel like it's just a perfect match. That alone will get me in the door. How dare you? Okay, who is do we like this look for Jason Todd? Do we have shooters for this look? I want the hood back. Fair play on a team with no terrific book is criminal. Pfft, don't get me started on that. Mr. Terrific not having a book is ridiculous. To me, when we talk about like black characters and black ongoings, that is the one book that just, given how much they've positioned him as like a leader and a prominent face of the Justice League and just the DC universe as a whole, like he's become the Reed Richards essentially of DC. Like he's the go-to anytime there is a science problem of any kind, or just somewhere we have to go to get solutions. Who does everyone go to? Batman goes to Mr. Terrific. Flash goes to Mr. Terrific. The Justice League. He's that guy. So not him not having a book of his own to really build out his universe, given how freaking great Mr. Terrific Year One was, it's just annoying. So when people talk about like again like black ongoings, that's the one book I always go back to. That's the one I always go back to. Give me Terrific's back. The long helmet back, the dome. Are you talking about the actual like? You talk about the OG like OG joint, like this joint. Looking like capsules. What did they say here? Oh, apparently DC Youth have an in-universe Discord server called the Teen Titans, and it becomes a thing. Then they start meeting up in real life, which brings them somehow in contact with Red Hood. So funny enough, when I was thinking about what Teen Titans should be in the modern day. That was like the first thing I thought about was there should be, and I feel like they kind of did this a little bit in Young Justice, the animated series, where they had like an app and a hashtag that people can use to get in touch with the outsiders in that show. But it was like a very of the now moment. Like if you had like teenage heroes in the modern day 2026, what sort of things would they be engaging with? Discord servers and TikToks and stuff. We will be getting a reaction of other maybe former Batman sidekicks who have been involved with the Teen Titans, but they wouldn't say who. Gee, I wonder. They want to be the Teen Titans for this generation and reflect the issues of our time. Josh is also talking about how well Higgins writes Jason and says that there's a line issue 1 that will go viral on Jason Todd internet. Oh, God. Oh, God. What could it be? No. Volt in the Teen Titans Discord. For those who, this is going to be so inside baseball, but I talked to Volt the other day. I don't know if you guys were, if anybody who was in our chat the other night, I said that I was going to reach out to Volt to ask him what he does for a living. And he did, in fact, tell me what he does for a living. So I will not share that here, but I'll talk about it in the Comics Pals Discord at some point. For those who want to know the answer. It's actually hilarious. It's not what I was expecting. All right, we got some Doom Patrol. Okay, finally, Doom Patrol. Darcy, Nico, Doom Patrol, which everybody thought this was going to be the Camp Rodriguez book. Oh God, what is going on here? Whoo! Oh, this looks sick. Yeah, this book is going to be built different. You can already tell. With this creative team, yeah. I'm not a huge Doom Patrol guy, but I will 1000% be checking this out. I've only read very scant Morrison. Hold on. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Deadshot one shot in September dealing with clones. Okay. That's the next level Deadshot book we heard about. Jenna's not giving us much right now. Oh, first look at the Deadshot one shot. We drop a lot of bodies in this, but there might be a sort of redeeming thing about it. Dugan says that Rick Flag is also in it, and that it also involves some kind of clone thing at Camus. I'm assuming Cadmus. What's this looking like here? Oh, I do love. Okay, these are the black and whites to the colors here. Okay. Watch him work at a hair salon or something. Okay, this is the Deadshot. Wait, hold on a second. Who else was on the stage? Because we should be getting now. Oh, Jonah Hex. Here it is. It is Michael Welsh as a Western horror book. Jonah Hex in the Shadow of Death. Wow. And we looks like we have interiors as well. So they're going full horror for Jonah Hex. There you go. And this is Michael, let's say Welsh. It should be Michael Walsh, right? So that's pretty wicked. So I talked about this the other day, but All Star Western was one of my favorite New 52 books, largely because it was a Western book that kind of tapped into various genres like sci-fi. So putting Jonah Hex in more of a horror setting, more of a genre-y book than just like a pure Western title is interesting to me. Silver Coin, Michael Walsh. Think you mean Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger? No, I'm talking about All Star Western, the New 52 book, the Palmiotti Gray Mortat book. Because that book had like it was like that first like arc or two were set in actual like all Western Gotham, and you had like the Court of Owls show up, you had Vandal Savage show up, you had the Black Diamond with Eclipso and eventually Booster Gold's in it. Like it's not just a book about Jonah Hex fighting bandits. Like it's literally taking on the DC universe, but in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, which I thought was really really cool. All right, that's okay. We're now getting to surprise territory. So Walsh has come out and did his thing, right? So that's I think everybody that was in the room that was seated. So are we about to get the news? The news we've all been wanting. I don't have room for my pull list. I'm going to say something right now, Jet, about the pull list thing. I'm about to have to do some pruning. And Hayden, I don't know if you're still here. I unfortunately, a certain book might get cut that I'm sad to say that I'm going to have to cut. We had a conversation about this because I made a video about this idea of when is it time to drop a book. And a couple titles recently have started to fall deeper and deeper down my my reading list, and I got to a point where a certain title or two was dragging over to the next week. And yeah, unfortunately, Static Vixen LFG. Static announced, Vixen announced, Ectrigan announced. Where? Vixen and Static confirmed. Okay, but what? But give me details. Give me details though. Vixen, we knew. Or we knew. Static is well, okay. Assuming they announced the creative team here. But that creative team is one I've known for Vixen for a while. Static would be brand new. Vixen from Stephanie Williams and Static from Cody Ziegler. It is Cody Ziegler. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's oh, wow. Wow. So I don't know if they're going to say it here, but from what I was told recently, it's Stephanie Williams and Kari Randolph. I'm waiting to see if that's what the confirmation is. Coming soon is interesting because does that mean it's not? Is it not this year? Is this not going to be in the October solicits? I just want to call you because they're not trading. Stephanie Williams and Vixen and Cody Ziegler on Static. The worst kept secret in comics. They've been in the works for 2 years. Oof. So them poaching Cody as soon as that Miles was up is wow. I'm a little surprised though. I don't know if I can talk about yeah, I can't talk about this here. I'm a little shocked by something though. I'll have to have some conversations with some folks off after this. I'm a little surprised. Sanford Gree got to be bubbling something up at DC. Yeah, I'm very curious who's on the art for Static. Stephanie Williams says her Vixen pitch was 20 pages long and it was so full of passion and love for the character in her world. It is now Mari's first ongoing. Boom. Look at my girl. I just want to see more info on like when. Oh, bro, look at this shit. The book will be Mari telling people who she is instead of everyone assuming like if Rihanna finally decided to be a superhero. It's an ongoing. Very surprised by the Static announcement. I wonder if you are surprised for the same reason that I'm surprised, BJ. Not that it exists necessarily. No, go back. I'm surprised, definitely, but not that it's actually happening. I think so. Yeah. I heard Steph's pitch was 20 pages in all caps. Can you imagine? Yeah. I know BJ had a really great interview with Stephanie Williams a while back that was trending all over the place, where she kind of breaks down some of the thinking behind her pitch. So I highly recommend people pull up BJ's channel, Comics Are Dope, to check that out. But this is a character that, like I said, I've always felt has so much potential, and no one picked up the mantle. DC never pushed for her to have a book. I mean, outside of like she had a a miniseries G. Will Wilson did, which I have. But I just think there's a whole her connection to the red, her totem, her powers, her being a celebrity, the fact that yeah, that like there's so many different things you can do with her that make her very unique. What's up, Kaiju from the UCC line? Yo, shout out to Kaiju Kittens. Kaiju is a streamer and content creator. She is currently at San Diego Comic Con. Sent me some cool stuff to share on the socials. Thank you, Kaiju. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great time. Black led solo check. Ongoing check. Mainline check. Woman check. Checkity check. Hold on. Have they officially announced the art stuff? Because I Eisner nominated Stephanie Williams. Yeah, baby. I believe it's Williams notes Vixen will be fleshed out on her alter ego, Detective Mari. Oh my god, Michelle, girl, I need you to type this out a little better because I don't know what you're saying. Static Ziggler reintroducing him confirmed ongoing. Yeah. So someone said it in here. Static not being Hampton is odd to me. I am very perplexed that yo, Ted, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I am very surprised that no one who was involved with the Dakota incident is writing the Static book. That they went for someone who was outside of the DC ecosystem, right? Because Ziggler was over at Marvel doing Miles. I am very surprised by that. The Vixen teaser image looks like Kari Randolph. Yes, I believe that Kari Randolph is the new artist for Vixen. It was originally, there was a lot of rumblings about Travis Mercer being involved in the initial pitch process, but Travis Mercer will not be the main artist. He is likely to come in as a fill-in and contribute there. But from what I understand, it is going to be Kari Randolph. I can't recall if it's a matter of DC wanting a full black creative team for this book. Julian explains one of the totem, as well as the fact that Mari does not have a secret identity. They'll be bringing in her family too, and like Ziggler, Spider-Man, several African gods. Makabe International is the name of her company. That makes me very excited to hear. They're leaning into her being an actual public figure. Like the idea that Vixen is someone who can actually be out there like fighting the good fight as a hero, but also like using her power and influence to fight for like social issues. I think there's so much potential, and Stephanie being able to interject a lot of her views and passions into the book is so incredibly exciting. Again, I just think this is a character that you can do so much with. I do want to hear Cody's take on Static. How much longer is left of the panel? It should be not very much. When did this start? I think these are the last big announcements. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to catch up to see if there's anything I missed. I don't see anything there. So much happening. So much happening. Static is also an ongoing. He's dusting off the cobwebs and reintroducing himself to the superhero world. So that was obviously what came out of the Dakota incident. Static sort of coming back. And we're going to see him in Titans, and then whatever happens in Titans is going to be the springboard to him actually getting his own new ongoing. Let's just take a moment to kind of appreciate the fact that they actually are not just launching one new Black ongoing, two. Did Marvel panel already happen? I think Marvel had a panel yesterday. Did they have another one today? They announced a lot of stuff yesterday. I really hope someone filmed this panel because I want to hear the reaction in the room when this was announced. That's what I want to hear. I also been noticing, I'm seeing a lot more Vixen included in some of these Justice League pieces of art. Recently, we had the Justice League tabletop game. Dan Moore included her in there. There's another Justice League related advertisement in the back of the books. Oh, Demon! James Herron. There we go. October 2026, Demon. So, that confirms, there it is. There's the James Herron Demon book. Also, new title logo. This looks cool. But that does sort of lead some credence to the fact that is Vixen and Static not this year? Because both of these say, I think, coming soon. Are neither of these books coming out this year? And if so, dang, why? If they've been in development this long, why are these books not imminent? That's kind of unfortunate. Yikes. They're debuting in February. You know what? You're probably right. If they have had artist changes, even then, it's not like they were doing pages already. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just one of those things with these. You know, the process is not. It's not always clean. Could have been tripped up along the way. Who knows? We need November, December books, so maybe then. Well, I know, DC's putting a lot of their eggs into the Absolute event. You know? I joke, but also not surprising they did. I'm still curious as to. See, I don't even know if I want to say this, but I don't want to start a culture war up in this chat. But, for example, this year for Black History Month, the offering was the single Dakota Incident one shot. But then for Pride Month, it was like a 4-issue miniseries that also included a prelude, the Intergalactic special. So basically like a trade paperback's worth of material. I'm so, again, not trying to start anything. I'm saying, like, I'm curious of what makes them decide how to approach these cultural celebrations. When is Shadow of the Bat? Did they say when that was? I want to say it was fall. Coming soon. If you include the Dakota Incident pitch timeline, you might get to 2 years. Very loosely based on public conversations I had. Interesting. So this tells me that I think both of those books have to be 2027. Or again, they could be November, December. Yeah, easily. But they're certainly not October. So I did see that we're gonna get DC solicits tomorrow at around 5:15 p.m. Eastern. So we're gonna get whatever the Absolute stuff gets announced. Keep in mind for the Absolute, Absolute Batman number 25 is going to be solicited tomorrow. And I'm sure it's going to be something very, very big. It's going to be, it should be the end of the Straw Man arc. We also know that Greg Capullo, if you guys have been following on Twitter or Instagram, I think it's been on Twitter, that Greg Capullo has been teasing a cover or some pages potentially. So, yeah, a lot happening there. So we're going to get a lot more of like what DC's overall plans are beginning tomorrow, or kind of concluding tomorrow. Looks like they're doing a Hall H panel for Lanterns shortly. Shadow That, Vixen, and Static will be November, December, my guess. Yes. Demon was announced in Wave 1. It's like just coming out. That's true. Demon was one of the first things we actually knew about for. I'm gonna scroll all the way to the top here and clean up my tabs. Demon was one of the first things we knew about, so it makes sense that it is at least coming out in the here and now. It was rad the Pride special got upgraded to a Pride miniseries, but I get you. Yeah, I would love to see that treatment be done for some of the other celebrations. You know what I mean? Like a whole Dakota incident like miniseries where we could have gotten one spotlight book for each of the characters that like gives us a fuller sense of the story. I thought the Dakota incident worked brilliantly on its own, but man, they gave, like I said, they gave Dreamer and Galaxy like a whole, like I said, a trade worth of stories and backups as well. So, well, so let's be out before the Absolute panel. Yes, I think so, because the Absolute panel is in the morning in Pacific time, and solicits drop out in the afternoon. So we should have the full solicits after that. Any pages for Demon? No. Capullo coming back for Absolute Court of Owls specifically would absolutely be peak, and it just would be perfect. Yes. With the Demon and Jonah Hex announcements, we officially have teams for all announced next level books. Yeah, so let's go back to that. The DC next level roadmaps that were announced. Again, this is the slate that was at Comics Pro, and then this was, I can't remember. Was this New York? I don't remember what this was. So yeah, all of these books now have creative teams. Again, most of these are already out, but Shadow of the Bat is Camp Rodriguez, Demons Heron, and then we have this slate where we know all these books now, and Vixen and Static as well. I'm hoping to go into detail in the Absolute event. Yes, so that's interesting because they've said that the Absolute event is coming in November. So we won't get like an official solicit for it now, right? Because we're getting into October, but we could get our first peek at what it looks like. We know that Jason Aaron is writing it with contributions from the rest of the Absolute writing teams, but we don't know who's doing the art. We also don't know what the shape of the event is going to be. Is it how many issues is it? Is it like a limited event? Are there going to be any tie-in issues or one-shots or anything like that? It's just a lot of mystery. We've heard some few details, like, for example, Absolute Martian Manhunter may be involved in bringing the characters together, but we don't really know much about it apart from what I just stated. Stephanie Williams teases that Vixen will be getting a love interest in who's an existing superhero. For anybody who follows Stephanie on, I think, Threads or Instagram, I think it's Luke Fox. Because she was asking about this a while back. A slate with not one canceled feels weird. Part of that is that DC is doing a thing now, and this has been something that they've done for a while, but books that they are, how do I say, less sure about, they kind of announce books now for like a 6-issue green light, and then they kind of watch the sales and then decide to extend it after that. If the sales aren't there, it just ends. Right? So they haven't really been canceling books like any of the ongoing titles at all because those have been, in their eyes, doing well. So we'll see though. But we haven't had any so far this year any news of anything being canceled. Although we do have things like JSA. We do have things like JSA that is ending at 24, or at least Jeff Lemire's run is ending, but we haven't heard if anybody's going to be picking it up after that. Lucas Batwing Jace is still in New York. Yeah, I believe she was talking about Luke. She was asking like how old that character was. She's like doing research. That's my guess. Make sure I didn't miss anything in chat. They should call the event Absolute Justice. I don't think they will call it that. Since yeah, I mean, they already have the Absolute Justice League for Absolute Evil. Static prediction. We get backups that flesh out the rest of the Dakota heroes. Ooh. I am curious what it would take to get an ongoing book for like an Icon or Rocket. They're obviously leaning into Static, and they always tend to lean into Static because he's the one that most casual fans have heard of. But will we ever see a day where DC actually commits to an ongoing book for a milestone character that's not Static? You know what I mean? Because he's the one. Dark Horse low key having a really good San Diego Comic Con. You have any links to some of their announcements? What are we getting? I did see the Baldur's Gate one. I did see Frank Miller. Dungeons and Dragons #1 I've not seen. Barbie #1 I have not seen. Absolute Legion of Doom, something like that, or Titans, or yeah. JSA's ending, yes. Jeff Lemire is leaving the book and ending his run at 24, but we don't know if anybody else is hopping on. Do we know who the artist on Static was? So none of the sources here in the room said anything about an artist for either Static or Vixen. However, based on the image they showed and just what I had heard, I believe Kari Randolph is the artist on Vixen. One other thing I can share that I was mildly aware of is expect a all-star cast of black artists doing variant covers for these books. They gonna get the Black Avengers of artists to do these variants, at least for the first issue. I'm disappointed Dark Horse didn't announce an Oppenheimer comic to go alongside the Barbie one. Dude, imagine they just set up an Energon style universe with Barbie and Oppenheimer. DC is dared to ask the question, does our audience have enough money to make all of these new ongoing series? I mean, you look at the sales charts, a lot of these books are doing fairly well. I mean, one thing that's been curious so far to me has been the Vertigo books have definitely fallen off pretty hard when you look at most of the charts. Bleeding Hearts is still holding on pretty strong, but they really haven't done much to promote them beyond the initial launch, like that first wave of titles. So I'm curious to see if we'll get another. I talked about this with Kyle Starks here on the channel, but I'm curious to see if we'll get another big wave announcement of Vertigo. I've really been enjoying all of the Vertigo books except for 100 Bullets. What the hell was that? But I like to see them pour more into them because they made a big deal when it first launched and they kind of just gone radio silent about it in the last couple months. Alan Moore doing a variant. African American legend Alan Moore. Sanford Green Absolute Aquaman. Oh, brother, put that in my veins. Might have to drop some Marvel. I have completely dropped all of my Marvel books, altogether. That's why I don't talk about it or in anything. Part of it, I will say too, for me with Marvel is I can't. I just where my life is at right now. I just cannot possibly follow two separate universes because I also read a lot of indie books. I just not. It's not just from a budget standpoint. I can only like this brain can only handle but so many stories at once, and following as many as characters as I do, I can't possibly like add 35 X-Men books to the equation. I've already forgotten what other Vertigo books are still coming. Rom V, Tom Taylor. There's a handful of them. You do one show about Spider-Man with me, and then you drop all of Marvel. Nah, that had already been the case, man. That had already been the case. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I will listen. Here's the thing. I will check out Midnight. Okay. I will come back and check out Midnight. They will get me in the door for that. Fanatic was the other one I was thinking of. Yeah. I actually have not seen this yet. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. It's so fascinating to me. Like this is literally how they relaunched Ultimate, or when they originally launched Ultimate, it was Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. The pillar franchises, bro. The indies were my heart at supporting those people. Yeah, there's just so many good indie books. There's just too many good ones at the moment. That's where I'm at. Like I'd rather read a good indie series and buy and support a good indie series than buy some Marvel slop at the moment. It's pretty bad. Okay, looks like that's the end of the next level stuff. So yeah, that does cover it. So there you go, Vixen and Static. And we got our Jonah Hex announcement and our Demon announcement. So that's kind of it there. I forgot to say that episode of Fixed Spider-Man, bisexual and in love with Human Torch. Give him a flame, Nier says. Flame on indeed. Scroll. Ezra Kane's sales, from what I remember, were a little rough. They dipped. Yeah, but Ezra Kane's done, and then we're getting another chapter of that next year. End of Life is continuing, and Bleeding Hearts is continuing. Bleeding Hearts is one of my favorite books right now. Period, man. It's so good. You should do a stream culling your pull list. You know what's crazy? I haven't actually looked at this in a while. Hold on a second. I haven't actually looked at this in quite a long time. I had this spreadsheet set up, and I haven't updated this in forever. Holy cow! I'm gonna have to do this at some point. Like some of these books haven't. Geez, when did I last? This must have been like 2 months ago. Kari Randolph confirmed. Where did they? Where is that confirmed? Okay. Subscription. What's the most hyped thing that's happened? Well, at least the biggest thing we just got it just now. Vixen and Static are getting new ongoing books written by Stephanie Williams and Cody Ziegler, respectively. We also got announcements. James Herron doing the Demon, and Michael Walsh is doing a Jonah Hex horror book. Nerd Initiative on Threads posted a video. Stephanie said it. Okay. Yep, that's what I had heard. Yeah, that's what I had heard. So Kari Randolph is, yeah, that's sick. Might be time for me to say goodbye to Deadpool, Catwoman, and more. Okay, I haven't updated this in forever because Absolute Martian Manhunter's still on here. Action Comics, Barbara Gordon Breakout is very much in danger. I added Buffy when that comes out. Catwoman is definitely Hayden. I don't know if you heard me earlier. That's the book that I'm looking at. I haven't even gotten to that last issue from last week because I just haven't found myself very compelled by it. So I might be out on Catwoman. Corpse Night has actually already been dropped, so get out of here. Muppets Noir ended already. Nightwing Poison Eye. Superman Father Tomorrow, I dropped that already. Uncanny X-Men, I dropped that already. But I did add a few things. Harley Ivy Life of Crime is over. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a huge purge on this. This is crazy. This is over. Titans, I'm not picking up. Oh, I guess I'm picking up for Static at some point. So, yeah. Why is Firestorm on? So this was, again, this is old. I have not updated this in a couple months, so ignore some of this. But Firestorm is definitely something I'm picking up monthly. I'm not pulling it because I go for various variants. Various variants, say that 10 times fast. Justice League Unlimited is definitely not. Not picking that up. Harley Quinn, new. Green Lantern, new. Zatanna, new. Daredevil, new. Aquaman, new. JSA, no. Supergirl, I'm actually reading pretty regularly. So I will say I am actually a huge fan of the entire Superman line right now. I'm really enjoying these books. So I'm kind of tapped in on Kingdom of Zod. I like these categories. I got to clean it up. But yeah, the idea was these are things that I am actually physically pulling on the shop where this is what I'm actually getting handed to me every single week. These are books that I am getting, but because of variants, my shop does their pull list by paper. And I think I have this somewhere. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this. You guys can take a look at what it looks like. My shop does our pull list via actual freaking paper. And so it's hard to make adjustments to it without him getting mad at me and actually have to physically scratch things off. We have no database or system or anything. It's very, very goofy. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I found it. Yeah, so this is it. So this is what our pull list look like. So it's literally this paper, and then if I want to add variants, I have to write out the cover number or letter or the artist or whatever. But the problem is every single week, you guys know, every single week, every single month, there's a bunch of new variants and covers that you want. So trying to constantly update this and have him print out new copies is crazy. It's really, really annoying, bro. So I kind of stopped doing it at some point because if I did, it'd just be every single week me coming in there and adding new stuff, and he prints these out, and it's become a mess, man. This is how they do it. So we've had this conversation before, some of you guys have shops where it's done by computers, where you can log in to your account and just organize your pull list, remove stuff, add stuff, whatever. Brother, I'm jelly. That's crazy to me. Bar, yeah. This is where the bar comes from. Typo. So anything that I have on this column right here are things that are on my pull list. This stuff right here are titles that are variant heavy books that I'm picking up pretty regularly, but I haven't added to my pull list because I'm when I go to the shop, I just go to the shelf and I grab the variant that I want from the back of the shelf. And these are books that they typically my shop stocks pretty well, right? So yeah. Now everything else, it's just a matter of like, yeah, these are books. Right now I don't have anything that's actually that I'd probably put over here. These are books I'm giving one more shot to that are on the fence, and these are books that I'm kind of like I'm checking out for the moment. BJ says, just read that 2-year timeline is just when Steph started working on her pitch. It didn't get presented until earlier this year. Okay, interesting. Another thing, too, when we talk about, going back to the conversation about Black ongoings, something that that has become very adamant, that we've been told very adamantly from DC, is that it's very creator driven, right? They are not editorial's not going in and demanding titles in certain books. So it's not like they're going out and saying, hey guys, we need a Mr. Terrific book. We need these books. Someone please come and pitch it. So I always ask the question, and BJ, you know this pretty well because you talk to a lot of these folks, that when it comes to especially like these like Black ongoing books, the question is who is pitching these books? Like someone has to have actually like gone in and pitched for Static and pitched for Vixen, these characters. So we don't always know necessarily if these things are being pitched, right? We can ask for these things, but someone has to actually want to write these things. We can say we want this character to get a book, but has anyone pitched it? Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But it's a little more nuanced than I think some people casually understand. These books aren't just going to manifest themselves. Somebody has to actually want to draw it, want to write it, all of it. On the Purge books, I'm gonna lean in on DC Unlimited heavily. I desperately need to get a new tablet. I desperately need a new tablet so I can move some of these things to the app, because I do like DCUI. If I can get a new reading tablet, I'll probably buy like an annual pass to DCUI for sure. We have a Lanterns trailer. I'm down to check this out. Oh, we do. Okay. Bet. Oh, I don't want to watch this crap on. Hold on a second. I don't want to watch this on YouTube. What's our hype level for Lanterns, by the way? Yep, here we go. Yo, how about that LeBron news, by the way? How about that LeBron news? DC won't return my emails about my Wild Dog pitch. Are you sure you're not sending those to the old Dan Didio address? You gotta check that subject line. All right, let's check this out. Eagle or Static, the Dakota Incident cover artist. Yeah, he's been doing JSA. Interesting. Okay. Man, I'm still very I'm still very, very perplexed that they by Cody doing the book. I'm into it. They're basically going for a grounded HBO drama take on on Green Lantern, and using Jon Stewart as like an audience surrogate to introduce us to the world of Green Lanterns. It's pretty clear that this is all just a setup to kill Hal off and make Jon Stewart the new main Green Lantern alongside Guy Gardner. But I'm excited for the show, for sure. It looks cool. They're trying to give us a more grounded take on Green Lantern to kind of ease us back into that world, because I think a lot of people still have very, 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 very bad taste in their mouth from the Ryan Reynolds movie. Which is crazy to think about, because that came out like 15 years ago. We should have collectively forgot about that by now. Hal's dead. Parallax or Spectre. Yeah, he gone. Like he gone. Hal is so dead. Let me see something. Because Marquise is. Okay, so yeah, there's Diego and Cody. So that confirms that it's early enough that it may not be this year. That'll be good. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be wrapping up here in just a moment. Gotta move on with the rest of my day. Get ready for tomorrow. Excited for all the big stuff tomorrow. More stuff coming tomorrow, not just from the Absolute, but again, there's a Metropolis line panel. A lot of big folks are going to be on that. We might be hearing something on Wonder Woman's future. And Kari confirmed he's doing Vixen on his socials. Awesome. Okay. So there you go. If they kill him off and it works for the story, then I don't care. I just think that sucks because Hal Jordan is a character that I would love to see explored. I mean, listen, Jon Stewart's my main Lantern. No question about that. Him and Jessica Cruz. But how there's so much great material that you can do with Hal that it sucks that for this new universe, which is likely the last chance we're going to see a DC cinematic universe be tried again. It sucks that they're just going to kill off Hal before we have a chance to really explore the character at all. The Midnight panel, is that the Midnight X-Men or Midnight Marvel panel? My wife won't let that Ryan Reynolds Lantern movie die. The problem with that movie too is that it just came out at a time when the superhero movie was evolving and it was just so by the book. And unfortunately, it was literally just it was just several years too late. It came out right as we were getting Dark Knight, the MCU was starting, and superhero films have just evolved beyond just your standard by the book origin story, and just the aesthetics of it were just not up to par, man. Man, big day though, man. So Vixen finally, the cat's out the bag. Vixen's coming, Static's coming, Demon's coming. New details on new Batman stuff. Shadow the Bat. Oh yeah, Shadow the Bat. Duh. Hello. So let's sort of catalog this. Man. There's our Vixen book. Where's my Shadow of the Bat? Static. Did we get static art? I don't think we did. Oh, you have the Jonah Hex book. That's right. Oh, she didn't even tweet about the Jonah Hex, did she? I wonder why. Where's Jonah Hex? There's Jonah Hex. All right, let's get a tweet out. I'm actually going to wrap up here in a moment because I'm going to go get this tweet out and get the rest of my day going really quickly. I want to say goodbye to everybody who's been hanging out here for the last, I don't even know how long I've been streaming for, but ton of good news and stuff here, man. So exciting. JSA is beyond cooked. GG's, guys. Ready yourselves for that last solicit to start off with the final issue. Yeah, it depends. In these situations, I'm always curious. Like, if the book is selling really well, I think they would have incentive to keep it going. But if the book has been on the lower end of the sales charts, maybe they're less incentivized. Don't leave us. Just saying, man, I got things to do. Things to do. Gunna said the movies won't be in order, so maybe we get a flashback type movie for Hal later. I'm coping. Oh, you're 100%. A movie? You think we're gonna get a Hal movie? Oh, I'm sorry, fam. The cope is real. The cope is very real. Thanks for doing this. I made keeping track super easy. Yeah, no worries. I literally just wanted to do this because for this purpose, yeah, to make it easier for you guys to track it and get hyped together. Gonna head out for the night. Hope to see y'all tomorrow for post pals. Heck yeah, I'll be there, man. Thank you guys for coming in. Everybody who's still here, I really appreciate you guys. I try to do some pop up live streams when I can, when there's something really cool happening, and it's just nice to be able to hang out and chat. I've been doing anything for the Marvel Comics panel. No, I'll probably be in Discord for that. If anybody's gonna be Discord streaming it, I'll pop in for that. And then tomorrow we'll be following all the news. And obviously, the big thing tomorrow is Marvel's Hall H panel, which I don't think is until the evening here on the East Coast. So that'll be big late. That's the big one, right? So tomorrow we have, at least from the comic side, big things. DC's Absolute panel, the Metropolis panel. I believe Marvel's got their big panel for midnight and other things tomorrow. And then we have the Marvel Studios, the big Hall H panel. I'm expecting them to announce major Secret Wars things. I'm fully expecting Secret Wars announcements, all that tomorrow. It should be nuts. Marvel Studios, this is a major year. This is a turning point year, right? Between Spider-Man and Avengers Doomsday, this is it. The next era of Marvel Studios really starts here. Blade, doubt it. Doubt it. New era of X-Men. Yeah, there's a lot to suss out. So we'll see what Kevin Feige has to say and who shows up for that. But Black Panther 3, I think we'll see Black Panther 3 news. That's one of the movies we know they want to get to. And the question is, like, where is that going to fit in the timeline? That's going to be, assuming it's post Secret Wars, it'll be sort of relaunch of Black Panther, but obviously it'll be Ryan Coogler. But if he uses that movie to kind of restart the series and franchise around a new T'Challa, is he going to be sticking around for Black Panther 4, 5, 6, whatever beyond that? Who knows? Make Robert Downey Jr. the white Nick Fury in the reboot universe. At this point, I don't think they can afford Robert Downey Jr. ever again after Doomsday. Apparently, there was a report that came out that he has his own, not just trailer and area, well, no, not just a trailer on the set for Doomsday. He had an area blocked off for him, which is wild. Thanks, Super Drop. All right, guys, I will talk to you on the next one, and I'll see you guys in Discords and chats and for whatever the next video is here on this channel. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. Go check in on all the rest of the Comic-Con action and stuff going on. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting some stuff here as a follow-up to everything that just happened today. But I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. This was a lot of fun. See you guys.